How's everybody doing today? And in today's video, we're going to be going over the balance changes that are going to be implemented into the game. First, we're going to start off with Colt. Colt's main attack damage is getting increased from 300 to 320 per bullet. That's going to allow him to do a lot more damage to enemy brawlers and pretty much just be a solid boost to his basic attack damage. Increasing his super damage from 300 to 320 per bullet as well. That is going to make him absolutely insane when it comes to just nuking down enemy brawlers. This is going to be a ton of damage added up if you hit your main attack and if you hit your super. Colt is getting a nice buff here. It might actually bring him up and maybe make him into the meta. The second brawler that is getting changed is Dynamike. Dynamike's main attack damage is getting increased from 760 to 800 damage per Dynamite. A pretty solid increase here in damage is going to allow him to do a little bit more damage and might make him a little bit more viable. I don't think this is going to be too crucial of a buff to Dynamite, but it definitely is going to help, especially if you hit both of those. Going to be another 80 damage. Definitely could make the difference. It is a solid buff to Dynamite. Let's see what that does for him as far as finishing off enemy brawlers is concerned. Our next brawler that is getting changed is El Primo. El Primo is just getting a standard health buff from 5,800 to 6,000. Pretty self-explanatory, a 200 health bonus. Overall going to be a buff to El Primo. There's not really much to say here. 200 more health is pretty substantial, is going to add up. El Primo definitely liked the buff, definitely needed it as he was kind of slacking in the tank category. Our next brawler that is getting changed is EMZ, increasing their health from 3,600 to 3,800, going to be a nice 200 boost to her hit points. Definitely going to help her stay alive. She is a kind of a swishy brawler. Hopefully this will help with that. And Hype, her enemy hit increased from 300 to 400. This is going to be a nice little boost as well. Definitely an overall solid buff to Ems. Our next brawler is going to be Frank. Frank's health is going to be increased from 6,100 to 6,400. That is a 300 health increase. Absolutely massive. This might help Frank out a little bit, but doesn't really do too much for him as he is kind of one of the slowest brawlers in the game. And when he has to stomp down with his hammer, he just does it way too slow with his club. So, I mean, I think it's good that his health got buffed. It might help him out to survive longer. Definitely going to be a little bit bigger of a meat shield. I don't really know if this is going to help too much as far as where Frank is going to really land in the meta. Our next brawler is going to be Leon. Leon's main attack damage is going up from 103 to 178 at maximum range. So guys, his attack damage still at close range is going to be the same, but at maximum range it is going to get increased, so he is going to be able to poke enemy brawlers down more efficiently and is going to make him more of a little bit of a sniper. Not really too much, but it is going to help him out in that really low lacking damage that he has in enemy brawlers that are far away. Our next brawler in the mix is Pam, getting increase of health from 4,500 to 4,800. Definitely going to help her out, especially in gem grab when she's got to go in, get all of the gems, and then get back out safely. Definitely a solid upgrade to Pam. Pam is definitely going to be a very strong brawler, especially with this buff. I think this is a great buff for Pam. It might even be a little bit too much. We're going to see how it plays out, but I think Pam definitely is going to be a strong brawler with this buff. The next brawler up is Poco. Poco's health is getting increased from 3,800 to 4,000. Once again, just like Pam, when he goes in for the gems, he is going to have a little bit more health. Definitely a strong buff to Poco. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but definitely is going to be very strong for Poco, especially as he goes in there, shoots out his shots, and now he's a little bit more tankier, so he could take a little bit more damage as well. Overall, definitely a huge buff to Poco. Let's see where he lands in the meta. The next brawler up is Spike. Increase the main attack damage from 4,800, 480 to 520 per Spike. Wow, Spike is going to be absolutely crazy if he gets up close and is able to hit you at a close range. Huge buff for Spike. I think this might make Spike hugely viable in a lot of game modes. Definitely an overall huge buff to Spike. The next brawler we have up is Tick. Tick's main attack damage is going to increase from 640 to 680 per mine. One of the most annoying brawlers in the game, hands down, is getting a buff. I don't know how I feel about this, but this is going to be annoying because we're going to see a lot more ticks. 40 more damage per mine. Huge amount. I just don't want to see Tick. Oh, big buff to Tick. The next brawler we have up is 8-Bit. 8-Bit no longer has Invulnerability bubble after respawning with extra life. This is actually a huge nerf to 8-Bit because the main problem was 8-Bit, solo showdown, extra life. Even with the nerfs that happened to it, it came up, still was invulnerable for that little bit of a time, and still was able to get to safety. Now, 8-Bit no longer going to be able to be invulnerable when it spawns back up. Not going to have any power cubes. It's just going to get absolutely decimated by enemy brawlers that are standing close to 8-Bit. B, Honeycoat now triggers only once per match. Yikes! Still going to be strong in a solo showdown. Not going to be as strong in duo showdown, and not going to be as strong in any other game mode. So probably Honeycoat is going to get taken out now. It's going to be a star power that's only going to be used in solo showdown. Not really going to affect solo showdown that much. So, I mean, it is a big nerf to be in every other game mode. So it is going to be a pretty big nerf. Invulnerability shield after Honeycoat triggers has been increased from 0.6 to 1 second. A buff here. But here's the thing. B gets buffed in solo showdown, nerfed in every single other game mode. So overall, I'm going to give B a nerf, but in solo showdown, definitely getting buffed. Next brawler up is Carl. Carl's protective pirouette. Damage decreased from 40% to 30%. I got it right, all right? Do I have to go to Google to translate that or just voice record? It's right. It's right. Carl, definitely getting a damage reduction here. Definitely going to be a nerf. 40% to 30% might not seem like a lot, but it is a 10% nerf to Carl. The next brawler up is Darryl. Steel Hoop's duration decreased from 2.5 to 1.9 seconds, a 1.5 or 1.6 second decrease in Steel Hoops. The shield on Darryl, that's going to make Darryl a lot more manageable, and you'll be able to kill Darryl very efficiently. Darryl taking a huge nerf here. Definitely not what you want to see if you are a Darryl fan, but definitely going to be very manageable now when he rolls in there and tries to take out your squishy backline, dealing with him after he does that. The next brawler up is Mr. P. Mr. P slashing his main attack range by 12.5%. Pretty big nerf here, more than a 10% range nerf on his main attack. Definitely going to change how Mr. P is played a little bit. Definitely one of the strongest, if not the strongest brawler in the game at the moment. So I definitely think this main attack damage decrease is worthy and definitely needed for Mr. P. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys liked the video, please hit a like and subscribe on the channel. Guys, hopefully I can bring you more of this content coming out. I had to move the tier list back, and now that there's new brawlers that just got buffed and nerfed, I have to rechange all the tier lists. So that video now has to be pushed back. I'm sorry about that, but we're going to get that as soon as we can. But guys, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.